Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to hour number 3 of the High Water Telethon. My name is Roger White, and I'm the program director and morning show host of Q101 in Merritt, British Columbia. Over the next 2 hours, you're going to hear some of the very best entertainers that the Nicola Valley has to offer. And you're also going to hear the stories that deeply impacted our community, both with the raging wildfires from last summer and the devastating atmospheric river that caused so much devastation on November 14th and 15th. So we want to thank you all for taking your time out of your busy schedule to join us for this telethon today. You know, 2021, we had such hope for that new year. COVID-19 pretty well wiped out 2020 with us. You know, we were hoping for better, and then June 30th came along. And we all know what happened on that date. The village of Lytton was almost wiped out in one day, within hours. People were sent scurrying and evacuated because of a wildfire. And then we had the Lytton Creek fire and the White Rock fires, keeping most of the Nicola Valley and areas beyond sleeping with one eye open for 5, maybe 6 and 7 weeks at a time. And just when we thought it was safe to close our eyes and sleep, then came November 14th and 15th, when an atmospheric river, which one meteorologist described was more water than what the Nile has flowing through it each and every day, it touched down in our province in one afternoon. It caused outages, it caused devastation, it caused death, bridge washouts, and so much more. We've all seen the images, unfortunately. We've all heard the stories, the fright, the anger, the frustration, and of course, all the sadness. But you know what else we heard? We heard the stories that inspired us. Stories of caring, of sharing, of communities reaching out and helping us. And they still do. And that's what this telethon is all about. So we want to thank you for sharing and thank you for caring. And we hope that you will support our High Water Telethon today. The first performance on my watch this afternoon is local recording artist Bobby Garcia. Bobby lives in the flood-affected area of Merritt, British Columbia. He has lived in Merritt most of his life. Now, Bobby has been performing country music for most of his life as well. He's performed on Rockin' River's music stage a couple of times, and he's recorded 3 albums as well. His latest one, When I Think About Us, is available on all music platforms. I Remember When is the song he's singing this afternoon, and it's available on his new album. So please put your hands together for Merritt's own Bobby Garcia on the High Water virtual stage.
My name is Bobby Garcia, and I am down here at Claybanks Park in Merritt, BC, which was at one time a beautiful spot. Hopefully it will be again. So today I'm talking about the floods and the fires that occurred last year, 2021. And this is for the High Water Telethon that a number of artists, BC artists, are doing to get some donations to help those in dire need. So I want to thank everybody for donating, and please donate. It's a really, really great cause. We're going to take some shots and just show you some of the devastation from the Merritt flood that happened last November of 2021. This is where Stephen and I shot my video, I Remember When, last year. And the difference today is staggering. There's no words to even put it to. Just the bridge itself that separates Collettville from Merritt is out, and just seeing that after growing up in Merritt your whole life, it's tragic, it's sad, and I really feel for all the people that lost their homes and are displaced, and that's why it's so very important to donate to this great cause. I just want to thank everybody for doing that and for donating, and just kind of take a pause just to look around, because it's not the same, but it will be again. So once again, thank you guys. Okay, the song I chose to record today is I Remember When. I wrote it a number of years ago, and like I said before, we did the video, some of the video down here at Claybanks Park when the river was flowing the other way, and we came down here today and we couldn't find the river, and it's totally changed. So I thought it'd be fitting to just play this song again. Kind of, it's almost the same spot where we were, but not really. I remember growing up, there was always one around. Most nights I just couldn't wait to hear that old guitar sound. It was kinda hard at first, and those 6 strings sure made me work. I remember when I get so excited to play it again. Singing them old time country songs sure makes me wanna go back to them. And I remember when I first learned how to play guitar. Watching Dad and Uncle Mike on any given Friday night. Lots of parties, lots of fun, right up till the morning sun. We do it all over again, and those Friday nights, they never end. And I remember when I get so excited to play it again. Singing them old time country songs sure makes me wanna go back to them. And I remember when I first learned how to play guitar. Well, I'm a little bit older now, and when I first started out, I still got that same old dream. Kinda makes me wanna scream. I remember when I get so excited to play it again. Singing them old time country songs sure makes me wanna go back to them. And I remember, hey, I remember when I first learned how to play guitar. Thank you very much. Please donate to the cause, Hell or High Water.
Thank you to Bobby Garcia. You know, when local musicians like Bobby are able to step up with their monumental videos, then surely Meritonians can spread the word and reach out to their circles and encourage their friends, followers, and coworkers to donate and ask them to join in watching this telethon. Welcome back to the Hell or High Water Telethon fundraiser from Merritt, British Columbia. I'm Roger White, your master of ceremonies for this segment, and it's so important to know that it's been a rough 2 years or more for most musicians with no work. So it is important that we support Canadian artists in many different ways. Every artist performing on this show, on the Hell or High Water telecast and concert, is listed under artists on the event webpage. Now, you can go to www.hellorhighwater.ca's website. We have all the links to all the artists' websites and social media channels, including streaming and downloading songs. We encourage you to support our artists by buying their streams and following them on their social media outlets. Merritt is at the junction of the Coquihalla Highway system, an engineering marvel that was completed in 1991. It's made Merritt the gateway to the interior of British Columbia for many years now. However, in 2021, Merritt was cut off from the West Coast as floods and mudslides destroyed our bridges and a large section of our highway. Calls are being unanswered. The funding's running dry. It may be coming to an end for thousands of people, according to some reports. Well, we have no choice. We have to earn your generosity today. Our next guest was in the middle of all that, and it's Mayor Linda Brown of Merritt, British Columbia. So please welcome to our Hell or High Water telethon and virtual studio, Mayor Linda Brown.
My name is Linda Brown, and I'm the mayor of the city of Merritt. On behalf of the city, welcome to the Hell or High Water fundraiser. The sole purpose of this event is to, number one, have fun and enjoy it. But it's also to raise funds for residents, business, and neighboring communities to help them recover from the devastating floods and fires of 2021. The geographical areas affected by these floods are the city of Merritt, Lytton, Princeton, Hope, Abbotsford, and many surrounding First Nation communities. In the city of Merritt, everyone was evacuated, but some homes were unaffected. Some residents have come back home to varying degrees of fixing, and some have not come home at all, at least not to a safe home. To give you an idea of the extent of the issues facing Merritt residents, we still have about 900 residents, which amounts to about 210 households that are still under evacuation order. Those residents continue to live in hotels or other types of arrangements, but many have not yet returned to the city. Approximately 100 of those homes have a high likelihood of being permanently unlivable, while others need various amounts of cleanup and renovations. Disaster financial assistance helps residents to a degree, but does not cover all of the individual's expenses or all situations. It's not available for those who could not afford flood insurance, or for those who cannot afford the extra dollars to renovate their home, or for those who can't afford the 20% required for the portion that the homeowner is required to pay. There are numerous and various degrees needed, and many families have just slipped through the cracks. The other communities affected also have their own stories to tell. But I am proud to be the mayor of a city that cares deeply for the well-being of its residents. My husband, Ken Gillis, and I would like to donate $1,000 towards the flood-affected individuals within the city of Merritt. We challenge all politicians to match or top that amount and ask that you give generously to one of your communities affected by this disaster. On behalf of the city, I'd like to thank the several organizations that came together to make this idea a reality. ehCanadaTravel, the Brothers of Tourism, Experience Nicola Valley, Tourism Nicola Valley, Kenny Hess, the founder of Rock and River Music Fest, Inklakatma Assembly, Nuayich, Coldwater, Shaken, and Cooks Ferry bands, and the Merritt Rotary Club. I also want to thank all the performers, the dignitaries, the media, and the corporate sponsors who've given generously of their time and energy and or money to make this event happen. Without your generosity, this event would not be possible. By giving generously to this fund, you too can make a difference in the lives of those affected directly by these disasters. You will send a message to our residents that say they are and will not be forgotten. Thank you very much for your generous support and enjoy this amazing entertainment. Have a great day.
On November 14th, 2021, a record-setting amount of rain fell over Merritt, BC, causing the loss of critical infrastructure and resulted in the evacuation of the entire city. To date, there are still 271 homes on evacuation order and about 740 people who cannot return to their home and 250 who are still unable to return to Merritt. In response, the City of Merritt has explored several different housing options, including modular builds, conventional builds, shipping containers, temporary tiny homes, and 3D printing technology. 3D printed homes use a programmable robotic arm, mortar nozzle, and a crew of 2 to 3 operators. Once deployed, the printer can print the mortar-based interior and exterior walls of the structure. Within 48 hours, the printer can complete a 600 square foot structure and will deploy then to the next lot. The structure will still require plumbing and electrical services, as well as a roof, that will be the conventional build, in order to complete the build of the home. The city can offer a large lot capable of hosting roughly 20 3D printed homes. These homes are energy efficient, fire resistant, flood resistant, and affordable. The City of Merritt's partnerships with UBC will advance the efficiency of this technology, create master's and PhD programs, and share learnings with the Canadian Red Cross to enhance the response to future disasters. These partnerships pave the way to several grant opportunities that could multiply today's donated dollars by up to 4 times if grants are successful. This opportunity will go a long way in helping our evacuees return home to Merritt.
Once again, thank you to Merritt Mayor Linda Brown. Our next performance is about to take the virtual stage of the Hell or High Water fundraiser, and it's all about the rhythm and blues this afternoon. The Rhythm and Blues All-Stars, they're dynamic, they're aggressive, they're a 10-piece horn band out of Vancouver, and the R&B All-Stars have earned some great accolades as well. You know, they have performed and opened many concerts for guys like James Brown, Chuck Berry, the Downchild Blues Band, Paul Butterfield, War, and many more. Over the years, the band has been the home to many of Vancouver's premier recording musicians who have and still do contribute to many international hit recordings. The R&B All-Stars have also a number of hit singles and 2 live albums to their credit. The band continues to play many concerts during the summers when they can, and they enjoy reaching out to fans both past and present. So let's put our hands together for the R&B All-Stars who are about to take center stage on the Hell or High Water fundraiser.
Hi, I'm Nathan Aswell.
And I'm Joni Bai. And together we're the lead singers with the R&B All-Stars, a band that has a rich history in the Vancouver music scene since the early 1980s.
We want to thank everyone for their support of Hell or High Water, which is helping the victims and their communities get back up on their feet after the incredible devastation caused by the recent fires and floods.
Yeah, who can forget the stories of bravery, heroism, and neighbor helping neighbor in the face of loss of homes and livelihoods.
The R&B All-Stars want to wish everyone the best on their journey back home.
Thanks again for your support. Enjoy the show.
Something is wrong with my baby. Something is wrong with me. And if I know just worry, then I would feel the same misery. Well, we have been through so much together, but we stand as one. Yeah, that's what makes it better. When something is wrong with my baby, something is wrong with me. Just what she means to me now, you just wouldn't know. You just wouldn't understand. People can say she's no good, but you know she's my woman, and you know I'm her man. Something is wrong with my baby. Something is wrong with me. When something is wrong with my baby, oh, something is wrong. Something is wrong with my baby. Something is wrong with my baby. Something is wrong with me. When something is wrong with my baby, something is wrong with me. When something is wrong with my baby, something is wrong. Something is wrong with my baby. Something is wrong with me. Thank you.
Stories from locals. It puts life into perspective, doesn't it? And it clearly puts the challenges on the tables. Now, during the Merritt floods, Jerry Keelman, a Merritt resident, witnessed it all with the raging rivers ripping down the streets and alleyways. It really was a frightening spectacle. Greg Gerard had an opportunity to sit down with Jerry from his virtual studio for a candid conversation, what we want to call the people of the fires and floods. It was meant to be a 5-part series, but we thought it was too important to put into 5 parts, so we want you to enjoy this segment. This is one of the many that we'll be sharing during the day as well. So here is Greg's conversation with Jerry Keelman.
Welcome to the telethon, Jerry. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day, for joining us here on the Hell or High Water fundraiser to share your story of your experiences as a special guest in our 5-part miniseries called The People of BC Fires and Floods. So, Jerry, maybe if you would be so kind to introduce yourself and tell us something interesting about living life in Merritt, BC, Canada.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jerry Keelman. I've lived in Merritt for about 10 years now. The last 5 years has been living on the edge of the Coldwater River. If you look at the overhead view of the flood, you'll see an island in the middle of the flood. That's where I live.
Okay. You're right in the middle of the flood.
Right in the middle.
So let's go back to that morning of the flood, Jerry. Can you take us through the day and how you were feeling and what you were seeing in front of your eyes? Because I got to be honest, some of those photos are very, very tragic and heartfelt. And I'd like to maybe if you could share with the audience a little bit about your story.
It started basically about 10:30 Sunday night. Saw the evacuation alert and went out. We noticed the river was kind of rising through the day. And at about 10:30, I showed my wife. She'd gone to bed. I said, "Hey, we're on evacuation alert." And it's just like, holy cow. So I went out. I looked at the river. At that point, the river was the highest it's been since we've lived here. And so then I put on my boots and my coat and grabbed a flashlight and went out for a walk. There's a spillway in the Vote Park, which is across the street from us, went and had a look at that. The water was about 6 inches below coming through that spillway into the park. That was, probably about 11 o'clock. So then came back in and then sat around for a bit and waited about around midnight, went back and noticed that the city had put the barricades back in the spillway. They had shut that off, which I kind of questioned at the time, but afterwards I thought that was a good thing. If they wouldn't have done that, there would have been way more damage. We probably wouldn't have had the sewer treatment plant anymore if they left that open. Basically, over the night, we went out once an hour. We stayed up all night and saw the water raise about 10 feet in about 6 hours. Yeah, it came up a lot. Normally, the river behind our house is about 50 feet wide. And by 8 o'clock in the morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, we went out for a look when we could finally see in the daylight. And the river was probably 150 to 200 feet wide.
Oh.
Yeah, there's about 10 houses on the other side of the river from us. They're all toast. They're gone, like uninhabitable.
No way.
Yeah, those people lost everything. So there's some serious help needed there. There's been a lot of talk of people with had insurance but didn't have the right kind of insurance. We're in that boat too. But, for the most part, our house was safe. We had a bit of water come up in the basement. But, nothing that we can't fix.
Yeah. And from that story, Jerry, if they did not put those barricades in, just to be clear, if the city did not act on that, it would have been a whole different story.
Oh, it would have been a whole different story. Yeah. This whole end of town would have been just gone.
Yeah.
Gone, because the river would have gone through the park and right into the city works yard.
Yeah.
And would have taken out everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and I believe it from what because I'm also in Merritt, and I from what everyone I've talked to, that current, when we went and looked at it, that was a white water current going through the city.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Canford Avenue, just down the road from us, between us and the city works yard, was just a raging river. It was unbelievable. We obviously, we knew we couldn't get out that way, so we went over the bridge, the Main Street Bridge, and there was a raging river down Government Street. But fortunately, it wasn't as deep as the one on Canford. We were going to take my wife's car. We had it all packed up, ready to go, and saw that river and just went, no, that's it. Put everything in the truck and jumped in the truck, and the truck made it through.
Yeah.
But,
you had a couple, from what we talked previously, you had a couple escape routes that were actually flooded that you could not use. You're down to your last escape route. Is that true?
We were, yeah. My wife was kind of almost in tears. She said, like, we're not going to get out of here.
Yeah, that's a scary moment in life, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So Jerry, what is the situation now because again, we're hearing from all 4 municipalities, and there's a lot of it's hard to say fact and fiction. So in your view, what is the situation now as we move through the recovery process here?
There's a lot of people that thought they had insurance, and all of a sudden now they don't have insurance. They're stuck. Like they're just like got nowhere to go and no money to work with. Their houses are just sitting, waiting. Like these houses across the river from us. The river basically carved out a path right underneath those houses. A lot of them are hanging on a cliff. And, they've got nowhere to go. They've got no funds to fix what they've got. So they're stuck. They really need help.
Yeah. And that's why me and you and a whole bunch of people got together, and we're going to try and make the best difference we can. And that's why we appreciate you coming on the telethon to share your story with us. And just before we go, Jerry, would it be if is there anything that you'd like to share with our viewing public here and with the people of these affected communities? Is there something you want to leave us with?
Well, we had the forest fires last summer. That, I think, took away a lot of the vegetation and trees that normally would have soaked up the water that hit us in that flood. Plant trees. If you've got the means, send money.
Yeah.
If you've got the time, send help.
Yeah.
There's still, it's 2 months after the flood, there's still a lot of people that are basically underwater that need the help here.
Yeah, and because you and I were both in the community here in Merritt, I know that there's hundreds and hundreds of people that are displaced right now, and they have nowhere to go. So everyone, please listen to Jerry's call and ourselves, and let's do something. Let's make a difference, right, Jerry?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely. There's a big need for housing here, temporary housing. So that a lot of these people have somewhere to live, so they can at least try and dig out what they have and get back on track and on getting their houses fixed.
Exactly. Well, Jerry, we wish you all the best. It's been an absolute pleasure that we have come together in tough times. Again, Jerry, thank you for your time and for coming on the telethon to share your story with a lot of people, and I think that's very important.
Thank you, and we really appreciate your doing this.
You're welcome, Jerry. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Same to you.
Welcome back to the studio. I'm Roger White, and I'm your master of ceremonies until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Our next performance is considered an exceptional vocalist, and in 2006, he was named Vocalist of the Year of Cameo Canada. Dan Hare, along with being a successful solo artist, is an A-list tribute singer. He's mastered Bob Seger and John Fogerty. His band, the March Hare Band, continues to be popular with corporate, also festival markets, casinos, and he's performed at events like the PNE Peach Fest and so many more. So please, let's welcome back Dan Hare to the Nicola Valley region and to the Heller High Water virtual stage.
Hi everyone, it's Dan Hare, and I'm very honored to have been asked to be part of the Heller High Water fundraiser. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the organizers that put it together, and of course my friend Malva. And give, if you can, hellerhighwater.ca. Go to the website and check it out, all the wonderful work that they're doing. I have lots of fond memories of my time at Abbotsford and Princeton and Lytton and of course Merritt. We were the house band at Merritt Mountain Fest for many years. We won the Fan Choice Award 2 years in a row, fronted by our wonderful singer, the late Kimmy Cat. One of the videos that I submitted for this, for the telethon, features her, and I'm sure many of you will remember her and have fond memories of watching her on stage at Merritt as we opened for every major act that came through there. And then I've submitted another video of one of my songs, so I hope you enjoyed that as well. So many thanks. It's a good time for us to all come together in a time of division, and it seems a polarized world right now, but we can come together with music and helping our brothers and sisters and really joining together for a wonderful cause and to bring people together. So I'm really happy to be part of that, honored to offer what I can to help, and please, if you can, go to hellerhighwater.ca and give as you're able to. Thanks so much, take care, and we'll see you out there somewhere.
Take the good days, forget about the bad, and all that we'll remember are the good times we all had. Well, it sounds like good advice to me, so I think I'll take it on. I'll try to live it up right now, 'cause one day we'll be gone. And it's all good, the way we make our best. It's all good, the way we leave the rest. It's all good, the way we live every day. It's all good. The way we take the time, it's all good. The way it's yours and mine, it's all good. That we're living our lives, yeah, yeah. But when my night time comes, it disappears without a trace. And I think about the life we live with a big smile on my face. It's all good. The way we make our best. It's all good. The way we leave the rest. It's all good. The way we live every day. It's all good. The way we take the time. It's all good. The way it's yours and mine. It's all good. That we're living our life. Yeah, yeah. Good, good. Way we make the best, way we leave the rest, way we live every day. The way we take the time, the way it's yours and mine. That's what living our lives. It's all good. The way we make the best. It's all good. The way we leave the rest. It's all good. The way we sing every day. It's all good. The way we compromise. It's all good. The way we win the prize. It's all good. The way we live in our lives. Yeah, yeah. Good. Yeah, yeah. Good, good.
Our next performance, Topaz, will be joining us in just a few moments. Only the Strong Survive really could be the band's theme song. They were formed in 1980 and they're still going strong. They're a band with social conscience, and Topaz has given their support to many upcoming artists, as well as lending a musical hand to benefit local food banks and the Cancer Foundation. Their consistent community support makes Topaz a real musical gem. Dedication of their fans, the professional sound quality, and of course, those crisp harmonies are the heart of Topaz sound. So put your hands together once again for Topaz as they come to the Hell or High Water virtual stage.
Hi, my name's Vicky. I'm with the band Topaz. To ask you to support the telethon or to support the live music event at the Clark Theatre in Mission. To help the BC residents who have been devastated by the wildfires and the floods. There's livestock with no hay. There are people with no homes. There's people whose properties were taken by the river. And until you see it firsthand or you witness the aftermath, you can't understand the devastation that took place here. People here lost vehicles, farm equipment, property, homes. There are homes that will never be lived in again because they're riddled with mold now. There are properties that were wiped out. The property's gone. River took it. So please help. Please support the telethon. Please do what you can to help those here who desperately need it. I was one of the lucky ones. I just lost some hay. There are people here that still live in the Walmart parking lot in a trailer or in a camper. They have nowhere to go. Kids here have nowhere to live. So please do what you can. Help us, help them. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for inviting us to be part of the telethon to help raise money for the fires and the floods that took place in BC this year. I recently relocated to Merritt and I've seen it firsthand, and it's just absolutely devastating what happened. We are Topaz. This is my awesome friend Amber. I'm Vicky. This is John, Jerry, and Scott. And when we heard that this fundraiser was taking place, the first thing John did was say, we need to do something special, and we all agreed. So this is an original song just for this particular purpose, and hopefully you will do what you can, help out. These people are desperately needing help to rebuild. So we hope you like it, and please donate.
Some days are filled with sunshine and others bitter rain. There are days that leave us smiling. There are lonely nights of pain.
You can blame it on the weather. That doesn't say it all. If we're here to help each other, we can't
Let each other fall. If you want to make a difference, then you need to take a stand. If you want to help somebody, then you gotta lend a hand.
We can shape the world for the better. All we have to do is try. There's a change in the weather coming.
Don't leave them high and dry. Everybody needs a home to rest their weary head, a place to raise a family, to keep them safe and fed.
Fires rage and mountains move, rivers change their course. Suddenly we're refugees from
Mother Nature's force. Working hard to build a life the river takes away. Everything you think you had can vanish in a day.
Still they're here, still they're strong, standing on this land. All they need is time to build and us to lend a hand.
If you want to make a difference, then you need to take a stand. If you want to help somebody, then you gotta lend a hand.
We can shape this world for the better. All we have to do is try. There's a change in the weather coming.
Don't leave them high and dry.
There's a change in the weather coming. Don't you leave them high and dry.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Pulled into Vegas, looking at all the people staring back at me, back at me. Rambling around the countryside, with places I can hide from you, baby, from you.
There'll be all kinds of loving when I'm home. There'll be more friends and laughter when I'm home. And we'll have parties and music every day. Seems to me I'm living the only way.
Another ticket, another plane, rolling down the runway. Oh, I love this life. How tonight, gonna play another town, another gig, drink another round. Oh, I love this life. Love this life.
'Cause there'll be all kinds of loving when I'm home. There'll be more friends and laughter when I'm home. We'll have parties and music every day.
to me, I'm living the only way.
Haven't had a hard life, but neither have I had to live without you. Baby, without you, I guess I better get along. Sometimes these places seem so far from home, so far from home. There'll be
All kinds of loving when I'm home. There'll be more friends and laughter when I'm home. We'll have parties and music every day. Seems to me I'm living the only way.
well, it seems to me I'm living the only way.
Welcome back. I'm Roger White. Joanne Street. She was born and raised here in Merritt. In fact, she's a fifth generation on her mother's side. She has history in the Nicola Valley, and she's watched as Merritt has grown and matured into a community enjoyed by so many people. It's always been home for Joanne. However, in 2021, the floods here in Merritt ripped Joanne's home apart. It was one of the many homes caught up in the raging path of the Cold Water River. And it seems that help has dried up for her as well, leaving Joanne in limbo. Here's Joanne's story and her plea.
So this is my home behind me. I purchased it, it'll be 10 years next month, or this month actually. And since the flood, it has changed, the landscape has changed a lot down here. I used to have a yard in front of my trailer, a fence, and then we had the roadway and then the river. But when the flood happened, the first time I came to see my home, right here was like a big sinkhole and gas lines were exposed and everything. And I had a nervous breakdown for sure, just to be able to see that. But so then the next time I came here, they had built the road up, and I just can't even believe how close it is to my home now. I mean, if somebody was to come around there fast, they'd be like going right into my house, right? But yeah, I used to have a nice little yard and my fence, and my neighbor behind me, there used to be, where this trailer is, there used to be a double wide to the left of it, and then another trailer right on the corner, just a beautiful little spot. And I used to say to the lady, if you ever sell this, sell it to me, because it's just a beautiful spot. But she lost everything. Her place went in. She couldn't save anything. And then the double wide that was beside her went halfway in, and yeah, it was just like hanging there, so that had to be demolished. And like this home that's behind me, they used to have, a fair-sized yard and a shop, and so you can see with the dike being as far as it is now. But there used to be, just imagine, a double wide, a yard, another trailer, a yard. And that's all gone. And the neighbor behind the lady who lost her home, there, 2 more trailers went in. I think there's actually even more. Most people lost everything. So I do count myself fortunate in lots of ways, but it's all traumatic. All the same, right? But so I don't know where I'm gonna move to, because there's really nowhere to move it to. So the rebuilding is gonna be hard for so many people in our community. I've talked to a lot of people, and And sometimes my neighbor across the road, the McMahon family, she told me the other day she feels like we've been forgotten down here. It really stifles you. Really hard on the mental health. But my heart just goes out to everybody in our community that have lost a lot of things here. So I was talking to my daughter, and I realized how high the river was. And I said, oh my God, the water is so high and it's rushing and it's dirty, and it must be from all the rain that they're getting down there. So not realizing that around 1:30, 1:40 in the morning that I had the firemen knocking at my door telling me that we have to evacuate. And I thought they were talking about fires for some reason, because you know, woken up out of a dead sleep, right? And so they said that the river was rising and then we had to get out of the house. And so I left with not a lot, because in my mind I was coming back home the next day, because we never had flooding problems down here before. So, but when I left, I kind of joked with the firemen, and I said, oh, no worries, we'll all be back here tomorrow. And they said, oh no, the water's right up to the berm. And it's like, oh, so it kind of became real. But, and then yeah, so I left, went to emergency services, signed up, went to my brother's house, and then started having phone calls at like 5 in the morning saying the water's like down to Purity Feed, like down past Central School. And yeah, it was just really, really hard to believe. I get very emotional about it. You know, this is hard. It's hard not to be able to live at home. And I come down and I check every day because, you know, a lot of places are getting broken into. But, yeah, so, but it's going to take a lot. I'll probably have to move my place because it's so close to the river. And so I don't know what I'm going to do. And, you know, I'm a 5th generation in Merritt here, and never ever experienced anything like this. I think if my parents were still alive, they'd just be blown away. But yeah, the whole river course has changed, but this is my home behind me here, and I just I have a lot of work to do, from the cold, like from the moisture inside and everything. And then when we had the real cold snap, I hadn't been in my home for like a week and a half, and then when I went in, my flooring was cracked, and yeah, so it sounds like there's about $55,000 worth of damage. Yeah, and then with the thaw coming and the freezing and the rain, the ground softening, my home keeps shifting. So sometimes I can't even unlock my door to go in to get anything. But it's going to take it's a long road, and this isn't over. It's by far from over. But yeah, it's definitely changed our little town. Okay. It's changed a lot. And I just want to thank everybody in the community for everybody who's helping each other out, and the Hell High Water Telethon, I guess it is. Yeah, just really grateful for that, to Greg and Melva, because I know them. So, but just everybody who's helping them out, and I even donated online myself to win a Calgary Flames package. But yeah, just really appreciate it. I know the money's, I believe, going to the Rotary, and the Rotary has been like helping so many people out. And yeah, what a great partnership. Yeah, just I'm very grateful, because I'll probably need their help as well.
Welcome back to the Hell or High Water fundraiser, and we're here in our virtual studio. We have a special guest with us tonight. His name is Sean Smith, and he is from the city of Merritt. Welcome to the telethon, Sean.
Thanks, Greg. Glad to be part of it.
Sean, maybe for everyone that's watching in Canada from around the world, if you would be kind enough to introduce yourself and tell us about your role at the city of Merritt.
You bet. My name is Sean Smith. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer with the City of Merritt. And so in non-emergency times. That means I'm the equivalent of the city manager, so responsible for overall city operations and reporting to council, as well as taking direction from council and then bringing that back to the staff team to be able to deliver all the city services as well and as efficiently as we can. My background is law, and I've been with the City of Merritt now for almost 5 years. I also act as the EOC director. So the City of Merritt stands up what's called an Emergency Operations Center. And I was responsible for directing the emergency along with a number of others that ultimately ended up coming on board as part of that team as the response group.
Maybe you could walk us through the day that we all experienced here in Merritt when the floods did come, caught pretty much everyone from surprise. And how did you come about with some of the decisions that were made on that day? And where are we in the situation of the recovery process?
Really good questions. I'll take those one at a time, Greg. So on the first one, I had received a text from one of our directors here at the city saying, "Hey, have you seen this flood warning?" And I opened up that flood warning, and it was certainly news to me at the time. I understood what it was calling for, and at the time, I will add that the flood warning was for a much lower flow than what we actually ended up experiencing. There was some debate as to whether that would actually put us bank full or just over. There was quite a bit of investigatory work that we ended up doing initially, and so got that text there in the late evening, and then ended up making a number of different calls to the province and the Provincial Emergency Coordination Center to be able to determine what exactly we were looking at, what was the degree of accuracy with the forecast, what we were looking at for timing, trying to get a little bit more information so that we could get ready to make decisions that would be for the health and safety of our residents here through Merritt. Had a number of quick conversations and very quickly realized that we were going to need to make some tough decisions that at this time we were actually thinking we're probably erring significantly on the side of caution because again, I think that at that point there was a misunderstanding as to the volume of water that we would potentially be experiencing through Merritt. So we called together our emergency operations team here in the city and began putting some preliminary work into if there were an evacuation alert that were required, what area would we potentially be looking at for that. Simultaneously, we were working with the province to bring in a number of experts and professionals to tell us what it is that we could be expecting with this event. As well, we were working to direct some information to council to be able to say, hey, we've got this flood warning that's just come in. Here's what we think it means. Here's what we think we might be able to do or we might need to do. And it grew really quickly from there as we started to recognize that, hey, there are gauges upstream that aren't necessarily reading correctly right now. We're seeing waters coming up here in Merritt at a really quick rate, and we're not seeing a slowdown from some of the kind of eyewitness accounts that we were getting from folks upstream that water levels were still coming up, not coming down. And so within a period of about kind of 2.5 hours of us knowing, Greg, we were at the spot where we were mobilizing RCMP and others to be able to look at evacuations and putting evacuation orders into place. And the next 6 or 8 hours were scary. Lots of stories that were coming in through the RCMP that were in the EOC with us about rescues that were taking place. And, that'll be a challenging and probably traumatic time thinking back on it for a lot of residents, and we're incredibly grateful. I look back every day and I'm grateful that there wasn't loss of life. Of course, as it goes down through it and start having losing some of our systems, sanitary, water, it's been a war of attrition, but I have been so unbelievably impressed with the resilience of our citizens through not just that time. This segues into your second question, Greg, with recovery. Lives aren't going to be the same. They're not the same now, and we've still got a lot of tough months ahead of us. And quite honestly, that's why I'm so grateful for this fundraiser. I'm grateful for everything that you and your team are doing, because the need right now is, in many respects, it's actually greater than even on the day of. It's true that the health and safety concern is gone in terms of loss of life, but right now people are working to put their lives back together. And in many instances, the support systems that are in place just have not been sufficient to be able to help people get through it. And it's going to be a long road yet.
Yeah, it's and this is one of the things with the team here that we've been putting on this fundraiser, Sean, is it's giving us a lot of insight into how big and how severe the challenges have compounded in ways that we could never have fathomed, and something that's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to plan for something you don't see coming. And yeah, I totally agree. So where are we? And I know that it's an ongoing process, Sean, but where are we in the recovery process?
I'd actually like to start with housing, if that's okay, as kind of our starting spot with recovery. What I would say right now is we have Meritonians that are here in our community in hotels, but we have a lot of people in our community that are still in Kamloops, that are still in Kelowna. They are separated from family members. They are at risk of losing their jobs, or in some instances have lost their jobs in the community because there is no housing here right now. A huge amount of our housing supply gets taken out as part of that, and we just haven't had we didn't have the vacancy rates before it, and we definitely don't have them now to be able to bring all the folks that we need back. And so we're working on a number of different housing initiatives that we've advanced, and we're advocating as regularly as possible as we can with other levels of government and with private organizations for support, because there are a number of these solutions that the city can assist with and support with, but we don't have the ability to necessarily always pay the upfront capital costs to be able to deploy these solutions. And so we have plans right now for a tiny home community that would be roughly around 40 different units that would kind of address some immediate need there. We have an opportunity for modular. We have some opportunities for infill of mobile homes within an existing mobile home park, which could be roughly 40 or so units there. We're working with UBC and potentially the provincial government around looking at an exciting project for 3D printing homes, which we're super excited if that can come to fruition, because I mean, we've probably all seen it since about 2012, these really cool videos of homes being printed. But I mean, what an ideal technology for disaster recovery, to be able to quickly deploy, and not just a temporary asset, but something that could become part of your housing stock forever into the future. It's true, these aren't gigantic, 600, 700 square foot opportunities, but oftentimes that's what people want, a place to call home, that would also double as taking care of our housing shortage for years in the future. We've got a number of these types of opportunities that we're really closely looking at and trying to advance and really seek the upfront capital costs to be able to facilitate. We're also looking at advancing what I would call the more traditional housing pipeline, because we recognize that anything we do right now is just at very best going to be making up for those that have lost homes or have been needed to be relocated because they were renting in the area or whatever the circumstance is. But we're going to need to have provision for growth in the future. We're going to need, these may not be the forever homes of those individuals, and so they may want to again move into other styles of accommodation. So we're really looking at advancing what I'd call the more traditional stream of housing that would come on board between 12 months and 24 months as well. So lots of really good plans that that are well advanced. We've talked with property owners. We've got costing that's all done up. We've got some potential partnerships in place. It really comes down to money, Craig. Yeah. That's the biggest linchpin right now.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it's also exciting in a way that we're tapping into technology and trying to find all different ways to solution to fit the housing need. Because we're hearing this in Lytton here and also in Princeton. It seems to be the number one concern is figuring out how to get around this temporary housing, and they don't come for free. So we need to raise a lot of money. People out there that are watching this fundraiser here with Sean, we do ask you very, very sincerely and gratefully if you could give what you can. And all of us, if we did this all, just give what we can make a big difference for a lot of people here in BC. So Sean, before we let you go, is there anything else you would like to share with us and our audience about the Hell or High Water Fund and or the work the City of Merritt is doing?
Yeah, I'd love to make one other comment. There's a lot of discord in our world generally right now. Lots of attempts at division. What I can say is that I am so grateful for those that have supported our community, who continue to support our community. I can tell you that our best efforts haven't been enough yet. There are a lot of people still hurting, and I can't thank everybody enough who is taking any measure, whether that's donating or finding a way to become directly involved in supporting our community. I will always be grateful for you. Thank you.
So again, I'd like to thank Mr. Sean Smith for joining us today. And Sean, as he indicated, is the CAO of the City of Merritt. And we are blessed to have Sean here to tell the City of Merritt's story behind the tragic floods that uprooted our community here, many communities in BC. So again, Sean Smith, thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you continue to watch the telethon and to cheer on the City of Merritt.
Our next performer on the stage is Karen Fowley. Now, she credits the Merritt Mountain Music Festival as the launching ground for her career, and she shares with us her deep affection for the region. Karen Fowley is an award-winning singer-songwriter with deep musical roots in our community, and she's influenced by Emmylou Harris, Sarah McLachlan, Carrie Underwood, and many, many more. Fowley has been entertaining audiences with her country rock songs for more than 25 years. So come on, people, put your hands together, clap with social media likes, and welcome Karen to the Hell or High Water virtual stage.
I'm Karen Fowley, and as a child, I dreamed of being a singer. When I became an adult, I decided to follow my dreams. My journey took me from Alberta to BC, to the United States, and even to Chile, South America. Then I found myself in Merritt, BC, and returned many times over the next decade. Merritt provided a place for me to hone my skills, meet great people, and to grow a deep appreciation of live music. Some years have passed, but I am the artist I am today because of my time in Merritt. I am one of many musicians that have benefited from Merritt's continued support of the arts. The people in Merritt have been supporting us, and now it's time for us to give back. Please donate generously to British Columbia's Forest Fire and Flood Relief Fund.
Together we're magic.
Don't judge yourself as you look into the mirror. Who do you see? Run your hand through your hair. Look a little closer, you're more than the work that you do or the money that comes to you. And if you find you get lost along your way, you know where to come to. This home is built in memories, a little lifetime. Grandma made your blanket, and Grandpa made its money wise. It's a place where love lingers on when you feel your hope is gone. It's a place of you and me. This home is built on memories. Don't judge the world By seeing only bad things, can you see love in the eyes of those around you? Look a little closer, you're more than the lines on your face. They just tell your story of love and loss and going on with good esteem, hopes and dreams. This home is built in memories, a little at a time. Grandma made your blanket and Grandpa made us money wise. It's a place where love lingers on when you feel your hope is gone. It's a place of you and me. This home is built on memories. This home is built on memories, a little at a time. Grandma made your blanket, and Grandpa made us money wise. It's a place where love lingers on when you feel your hope is gone. It's a place of you and me. This home is built on memories. This home is built on memories, a little at a time. Grandma made your blanket, Grandpa made us money wise. It's a place where love lingers on when you feel your hope is gone. It's a place of you and me. This home is built on memories.
All right, so we're going to move to another song. And this one is one of those moments in time that just seem to mean so much more. Sometimes you'll be with a friend and those are memories in the making. Time seems to pass and all of a sudden it's late at night and you have to get back. Those are those special moments in time that we're talking about. And this is a song I wrote about that very thing. The way the year starts, walk down the road to the bar. The air's warm and the sky is clear. We sometimes come to find each other. Here we're few in numbers, but there is life. Tell me why does now seem to matter just a little bit more. It's all that I need, this moment in time. It's all that I need. It's all that I need, this moment in time. It's all that I need. It is love that stops the torment, the one who's been so wrong. It is love that takes away the loneliness it comes. Here's something to warm your heart. Something's come to add the magic tonight. We're few in numbers, there is life now seem to matter just a little bit more. It's all that I need this moment in time. It's all that I need. It's all that I need this moment in time. It's all that I need. All you've got to do is leave that creation, pull you from the limbo of frustration. You can spend the time of your life, and if you're lucky, every time's in time, even only just in a dream. In a dream. In a dream. That's all that I need. It's all that I need. It's all that we need. It's all that I need this moment in time. It's all that I need. It's all that I need this moment in time. It's all that I need. It's all that I need this moment in time. It's all that I need. Yeah, it's all that I need this moment in time. It's all that I need.
Welcome from Calgary, Alberta. My name is Doug Irwin, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Strategy and Growth for Onside Restoration. At Onside, we help those in need, getting families back to family time, businesses back to doing business, and communities back to being a community. We are BC's largest property restoration company with our head office in Vancouver, and we've been helping the people of BC for more than 40 years. We continue to lead the recovery efforts and rebuilding activities that are still taking place in the BC communities of Lytton, Merritt, Princeton, the Fraser Valley, and several First Nations communities. Caring for and rebuilding communities is what Onside does best, and this is what fuels our people to do the job that we do. And although it's been unbelievably challenging work for us as a company, it's nothing compared to what the people in these communities have had to go through. There was no hesitation for us to be part of this Hell or High Water fundraiser. Onside is very proud to be a community hero sponsor to help those communities. Speaking of heroes, we want to acknowledge some. First and foremost, the residents of these communities as a whole, rock stars, each and every one of them. We want to thank the trades from each of these communities for stepping up to the plate and working with us to get everybody back in their houses and into their businesses. Last but not least, we want to thank the Onside staff. We brought in hundreds of people from across the country to help. Working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, many of them missing Christmas with their families and children, they sacrificed for us. All this during record-breaking temperatures that went from plus 50 degrees in Lytton to minus 37 degrees in Merritt. Crazy. And finally, special call to our local leaders. Jeff Fuller from our Kelowna branch, who has overseen the Merritt and Princeton event as a whole, Andrew Zock out of our Mississauga office, who oversaw the operations and scheduling, and most especially Tim Hedrick, our senior project manager out of Abbotsford, who has led the efforts on the ground, in the field, and has been helping with the larger facilities and schools. Speaking of schools, I am happy to announce we will have the Diamond Vale Elementary School and Merritt Secondary School reopened before spring break so that students and teachers can get back into their buildings and reestablish the important connections we all need. Throughout this process, we have met so many amazing people, and I'd like to share just one example of that. You see, some of our own employees actually were landlocked due to the highway being washed out on both sides. They had absolutely nowhere to go. Members of the Lytton First Nations community came together and stepped up with food and accommodations for them. This has been an incredible experience for our team, and we will be forever grateful for your kindness. We've personally gotten to know so many individuals in each of the towns and communities, too many to mention on this video, but know that meeting you has enriched us all. If you are just joining us now during this telethon fundraiser, please consider what you can give. Every dollar counts. Let's work together to restore these communities back to the worlds they once knew. If you're a business, we also challenge you to step up and pledge a donation to this worthy fundraiser. Go online and please donate now. I'm also super excited to be attending the live concert taking place here in Mission, BC as part of this fundraiser. With all the hard work and the challenges that our communities have been facing, it's also important to let loose and experience some positivity, and Lord knows we in Calgary know how to let loose. I hope to see you there. Thanks. All the best.
Our next guest will certainly put you in the mood for giving, as he is a giver himself. Todd Richard wrote and gifted the song Follow Your Heart to the kids at Variety, the children's charity. And the song has basically become their unofficial anthem. In 2021, he released a tribute and thank you album for frontline workers titled Green and Blue, traveling to hospitals, ambulances, fire halls, RCMPs, and care homes each night. Welcome, Todd Richard, to our Hell or High Water stage this afternoon.
Y'all listen up careful now. You could be chilling on a white sand pebble beach. We could be strangers in front row concert seat, bump into me right in the middle of the street of my hometown, and we'll put one down. No matter none where you come from. If you can handle your stuff, if you got booze in your cup, go on and raise it on up. Don't need no Friday night. If you are ready to rip, find a bevy to tip. All it takes is a sip to do it up right. If you can get along with a strong drink in your hand, well, I could use a drinking friend. Might be left, right, north, south, red or blue. Roll like a ball of old steel, just paying your due. Down on your luck, needing a pick me up or two. Well, I got you. If you can handle your stuff, if you got booze in your cup, go on and raise it on up. Don't need no Friday night. If you are ready to rip, find a bevy to tip. All it takes is a sip to do it up right. If you can get along with a strong drink in your hand, well, I could use a drinking friend. Ha ha! Yeah! Woo! That's right. Yeah! Come on! If you can handle your stuff, got booze in your cup, this ain't no VIP club, no, no. I ain't making this up. If you can handle your stuff, if you got booze in your cup, go on and raise it on up. Don't need no Friday night. If you are ready to rip, find a bevy to tip. All it takes is a sip to do it up right. If you can get along with a strong drink in your hand. Well, if you're looking for a good time, anytime, I'm your man. Well, I could use a drinking friend. could be my, won't you be my, you wanna be my, you could be my drinking friend. You could be my, won't you be my, you wanna be my, you could be my drinking friend. That's right. You too could be our drinking friends.
Welcome back to the Telethon. I'm Roger White. You know, as many of the musicians, dignitaries, and locals have told us over and over again today, the problem and challenges that are facing thousands of families is bigger now than it's ever been. The floods have receded. The fires are gone. However, out of sight, out of mind does not mean that the hardships are gone. They have been compounded. So let's welcome Bree Patterson to the virtual studio as she joins Greg Gerard for another segment of what we call the people of the fires and floods.
Welcome to the Telethon, Bree. Thank you so much for joining us on the Hell or High Water fundraiser to share your flood stories and your experiences and what we're sort of calling a 5-part sort of mini series we're putting on during the telethon. And we're calling it The People of the BC Fires and Floods, where we get to hear personal stories and we get to share those stories with our viewing public. So Bree, let's start off with maybe a little bit of an introduction about yourself and maybe tell us something interesting about your life.
Perfect. Yeah. So I'm Bree Patterson, as you can probably see on the screen. I'm a Merritt local or Merritt resident, and I'm actually relatively new to Merritt. Only lived here for about a year and a half by the time the floods showed up. So I am actually a professional photographer, and I've been a professional photographer for about 12 years. And I've also worked in the ranching sector in BC. So not only have I dealt with it on a personal level, but a lot of the ranchers I deal with are dealing with the devastation as well.
Wow. Okay, so that's a great lead-in into our second sort of question, which is let's go back to that week, that horrendous week we all went through, of that disaster, on when you were out taking photos and you were starting to see this all unravel in front of you, and maybe share with us what you saw through your lens through this whole experience.
For sure. So I didn't get to come back to Merritt till about 3 weeks in from the flood. And so for the first 2 weeks, all you're referring to is, pictures from Facebook, from those who maybe stayed behind or those who were able to enter because they were search and rescue or part of the first responder crew or the city crew. So you're kind of living vicariously through them. And then when you get into the throes of it, you're kind of eyes wide open. It was not the community I left at 2:00 in the morning on November 15th. I actually was woken up by the cops, and I called the cops on the cops because I didn't think, when someone's banging at your front door, your back door, and your windows at 2:00 in the morning, you're convinced some crazy person's going to get you. And so that's kind of a funny portion to it. But when I left first thing in the morning, it was pitch black. My neighborhood looked just as it did the night before and the day before when I was out and about doing stuff. Would never have known at all that it was going to be a giant flood. And I actually live right beside the river. So left, and then again, lived vicariously through social media and pictures and stuff like that from friends. So when I came back in the third week, it was a completely different town. It's still a completely different town, but it was so eye-opening to see the devastation, and not just in my neighborhood, but down the road, seeing friends' houses, talking to some of the ranchers I work with my full-time job in the ranching sector, talking to them about what they lost on their operations. It's honestly it was kind of mind-blowing. So then as I walked around my neighborhood with my camera while I was taking a break from working on my home, which has been obviously hit and has lots of work to be done to it, it was really interesting to see how we had to kind of make our way through this. One of my neighbors had to demo off half their house, their addition. And so they've actually just rebuilt their addition, and it looks beautiful out my window. So I'm very happy for them. But it was very emotional watching it. And it's ironically, the couple that had to demo it are a young couple too. So this is their first home and all that kind of jazz. So it wasn't the cute, quaint, fall time town we left. It was a soggy mess. Like it looked like a bomb had gone off in certain places. If you looked at people's dressers were sitting on the roadway, and people's houses were tipping every which way. It just honestly mind-boggling. I'm really glad I had the capacity to go out with my camera and take some pictures so people could actually see, because I guess I keep saying mind-blowing, but I don't really have any words yet for it. And we're still about 2.5 months out from when the incident happened, and a month and a bit since when I would have gone home first. So it's day and night. There's moments where you walk downtown in areas in Merritt, and again, it looks like it did in the summertime, in the fall time, and this time last year, minus the snow. And then you go to other spots and they're missing houses, or they have giant piles of dirt. Like when I look out my bedroom window, I used to have a beautiful rock garden. Now I have a giant pile of river silt. Yeah. So if anyone wants some river silt for their face, I got you set.
We know where to go.
Yeah, I can hook you up. I'm sure some sort of spa would love to have all of this high quality cold water river silt, because I come up from upriver, so we know it's clean.
Wow. I mean, and there you go, right? It's sort of, and you have that window where you were away. So you've got, when you're away, you've got this fresh idea of what you're at. And then you come through like a time warp and you're back home, and it's like, what happened?
Totally. And I have a security camera, so I was able to watch the floodwaters rise the whole time and then rescind. And so, of course, looking through the one and only camera I have, my yard looked pretty normal from what I could see. You could see a few things that had floated from one side of the yard to the next, but otherwise it just looked like my gravel driveway. And then to come home and be like, oh no, this actually isn't a gravel driveway. This is a pile of mud.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's luckily we have people like you sharing those stories that I don't think is getting out. I think it's important that we do share our stories as much as we can, because I do think we need to keep this alive and keep this going, because the hard part is right now when it's not the big storyline. This is the hard part of trying to get people to understand that the problems have now compounded. The dollars required to fix everything is compounded. And that's why we felt with our group and reaching out to people like yourself it was very important that we as the people step up and make a difference.
Totally. And I think that's what happens is you need to have that community support to help get you through. Yeah, like I look out my window and it's a muddy, ugly mess. So I really look forward to when the snow comes back and covers it up so I can forget about it. But depending on where you are in town, you're always reminded that we went through something. There's always that reminder of that traumatic event that happened to all of us.
Now let's take us back. Now let's go to today. Let's talk about today. And you've now come back, you're adjusted, you're dealing with this, with the heartache of what's happened in your neighborhood here. What are you seeing and hearing about the recovery process? Like what's your feel there?
It's very slow moving on all capacities. If you look at recovery from like the physical rebuild to houses, like Mother Nature hasn't been kind to us since the flood. We haven't been able to get outside and tackle a lot of things. If that's something as simple as fixing up your gardens, or much more like reskirting your mobile home or fixing your foundation. So it's a very slow process. And of course, we've had devastation in Merritt, Princeton, and Abbotsford and the rest of the Sumas Prairie, which covers a lot of houses and a lot of homes and a lot of businesses. And there's only so many restoration companies, contractors, people with saws and skills to come help. So it can be challenging. We definitely lucked out having Samaritan's Purse show up earlier in the, I guess, November, December timeline. They have since moved on to their next location, but that was a great help there. And I know there's other citizens in Merritt who have been trying to help each other the best they can. Like I went and helped my neighbor the one day when they were demoing their stuff, and everyone's kind of helped here and there, and it's greatly appreciated, but it's slow and steady. And if you're not in the middle of it, you kind of forget it's happening because you can't work on it every single day, primarily because of Mother Nature, but also because of the lack of resources. If that's physical people coming to help you, or being able to get 12 bales of, insulation, that kind of stuff. So it's slow and steady. I know certain parts of town still haven't even been able to come home to town, that they're still living in hotels or at friends' houses, their families' houses, or in their RVs. And that's definitely not enjoyable. Like it's great to have a safe place to go, and it's great to have a safe place to go with your family or your pets or whatever your prized possessions, but having your own original home base is super important for like your mental health and your physical health.
Totally agree. I totally agree. Bree, before we let you go, is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewing telethon public right now?
Just thanking everyone who's chiming in to help with the support cause in any way, if that's through donations or physical labor or being part of the Hell or High Water fundraiser. I appreciate it. My neighbors appreciate it. My friends, family, you name it, in this community all appreciate it. So thank you all very much.
Bree, thank you for your time and thank you for sharing your story and sharing it from the heart.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your fundraiser. I can't wait to enjoy watching it all.
Exactly. Thank you.
Our next performing artist is Rick Tippie, who was born in Maple Ridge, British Columbia. The country music artist has released 7 albums, and he's won more than 25 awards from the British Columbia Country Music Association, including 3 consecutive Entertainer of the Year wins from 2001 to 2003. Tippie has toured across the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia, and is open for artists like Tracy Bird, Terry Clark, Mark Chestnut, and Sawyer Brown. Rick shares his special memories of Merritt and his support for a speedy recovery and the efforts of the Hell or High Water fundraiser. Please welcome Rick Tippie to our stage.
Hi, folks. It's Rick Tippie. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're doing well. I know the last couple of years have been amongst the most challenging most of us have ever faced in our lifetime. It hasn't been easy. And for tens of thousands of other British Columbians in Merritt, Lytton, Princeton, Abbotsford, and the surrounding areas, including our First Nations brothers and sisters, it's been an even bigger challenge. Not only have they had to deal with COVID-19, but they've also had to deal with the devastating floods and forest fires of 2021. These events have caused tremendous hardship for these individuals and businesses in their communities. So I'd like to encourage you to support them and donate to help them get through this time. These folks are our friends, our neighbors, they're fellow British Columbians and fellow Canadians. I've had the opportunity to visit and or perform in many of these communities. And some of my fondest memories are of Merritt. It has a special place in my heart. I had the opportunity to play that main stage 7 or 8 times during my career. That event gave Canadian artists like myself an opportunity that we wouldn't have had otherwise to share the stage with the biggest country acts in the world at the time, like Brooks and Dunn and the Dixie Chicks. And that happened because of the people of Merritt and the surrounding communities supporting it. Some of my favorite memories are also of my final performances there in Merritt with my father, Elmer, performing with myself and my band, the Kings of Cool. My dad recently celebrated his 89th birthday, and he's doing okay. But there are thousands of British Columbians who could really use our support. So if you can, please donate, and together, come hell or high water, we'll get back to the lives that we all love and know here in this great province. If you can, please donate now.
Saddles up from dawn to dusk to herd the cattle on his land. Every Friday night when the sun goes down, he dusts himself off and rolls into town. He's the king of honky tonks and cool. This Wrangler always plays to win. He's nobody's fool. All the ladies flock to him like flies, with hungry hearts and starry eyes. The key to his success is cowboys rule. honky tonks and cool. His pa said an honest day's work will make you strong. Trust your head and your heart, you can never go wrong. His southern drawl and crooked smile is all it takes to drive the young girls wild. He's the king of honky tonks and cool. This Wrangler always plays to win. He's nobody's fool. All the ladies flock to him like flies, with hungry hearts and starry eyes. The key to his success is Cowboys rule. The king of honky tonks and cool. When he struts into a honky tonk, there's a stampede of the donk-a-donk. He's the king of honky tonks. He's the king of honky tonks. All the ladies flock to him like flies, with hungry hearts and starry eyes. The key to his success is Cowboys rule. The king of honky tonks and cool, yeah. The king of honky tonks and cool, yeah. The king of honky tonks and cool, yeah.
Once again, thank you to Rick Tippy for that special message. Our next guest host and master of ceremonies coming your way on the Hell or High Water fundraiser is Amber Marshall. Amber Marshall is a rare find in the busy world of today. She's a strong role model for many. She captivates audiences across the globe in her leading role as Amy Fleming on the show Heartland. This popular television drama set on an Alberta ranch has been in the homes of millions for well over a decade. And not only does Marshall play a horse lover on television, she lives the cowgirl lifestyle herself. She's hardworking, independent, and talented. Amber has been pursuing her life goals since she was old enough to voice them. Before Amber takes over the reins, I'd like to close out with a special message this afternoon from multi-award-winning singer and songwriter Patricia Conroy.
Hey everybody, this is Patricia Conroy, singer-songwriter, lover of country music, and I grew up in Eastern Canada, but my country music career started in Western Canada, in Vancouver. And in those early years, and to this day, I've toured all over British Columbia and every small town, every big city. And I am truly, truly sorry about all the devastation from fires and flooding. And very happy that some wonderful people and friends of mine have put this telethon together to raise money to help those folks who really lost everything. And we'll never get it back, but we can help a little bit. So we're asking for you to donate whatever you can. And I'm sure the number's there and the website is there. And please help us and help them. And we love you and thank you for that. And all the best to everybody.
Hey, my friends, my name is Métis Bev, and now it's time to lift your spirits up with some music and dance. The traditional dance of the Métis is the Red River Jig, And it's a beautiful combination of our European culture, the tap dancing and Highland dancing, and our First Nations cousins. So it's a Red River Jig. I want you to join along and have a good time with me. Woohoo! And don't forget, help your neighbors out and donate to the Hell or High Water. And God bless you all. Thank you very much.
On behalf of our president, Betty Ann McDonnell, and the rest of the Nicola Valley and District Métis Society, thank you for joining us tonight. We are a Métis Nation of BC chartered community that represents and provides services to 270 members in the Nicola Valley and along Highway 8, including the Lytton area. We have many members who are affected both in Merritt and along Highway 8. We hope you are able to donate tonight and that you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Was intrepid waters, you know more than I. Why the cleansing's falling, while people left to cry. I'll bask in your glory. Yeah, I'll bask in your glory with humbled hands. All I ask, when you take rest, you recede the waters back from land. Approach from fire, forge from flood, humble footprints frozen in love. Approach from fire, forge from blood, humble footprints frozen in blood, frozen in blood. We are at your disposal. We bow, we bend, but faith and courage stitches us up again. Smudge our lands from deep within, heal our souls from the past that sin. Let prayers of restless souls be answered and received. Let Mother Nature's reconciliation be seen and set us free. Apart from fire, forge from flood, humble footprints frozen in blood. Apart from fire, forge from flood, humble footprints frozen in blood. Wise intrepid waters, you know more than I. Why your cleansing's falling, while wakes are left to cry. I'm basking your glory.
Welcome back to the Hell or High Water Telethon. We will only take a minute. Oh, hold on. It's going to be 2 minutes. We're going to take 2 minutes of your time. For 2 minutes, we need you to focus Canada. We need you to concentrate because this part of the telethon is about you, the viewer. There are many ways you can help families and gift the telethon before 10 p.m. tonight. One, you can go to the www.hellorhighwater.ca website and donate directly. Sounds simple. Two, you can call the number on your screen and talk to a real person. Imagine that. Three, you can text to give on your phone by using our text to give numbers. At the Hell or High Water fundraiser, you can give in many different ways. You can give a lot, you can give a little, it all counts. And get this, when you give, you can select which community you would like your gift to go towards, including, just check it off, Merritt, Abbotsford, Princeton, Monte Creek, Lytton. Just check those off and you're ready to go. Or you can donate to them all. And the funds will be divided up amongst them appropriately. Plus, you get a tax receipt, no harm, no foul, everyone wins, you did good, enjoy the show. It's that simple. One question after you've donated. Did you pay it forward? This fundraising thing everyone's talking about works a lot better when you help and participate. So please go to your social media pages and challenge your friends and your families to match or beat your donation. Tell them about this cool telethon going on right now on websites, social media, and TV, and they've got, a little bit of a wacky host at it too. Bring them on. If we all did this one little gesture, thousands of families would be a better and happier place. The largest disaster in Canadian history deserves Canada's attention. We cannot let this be swept under the rug, filed away like another, BC cold case disaster. Not on our watch, it's not going to happen. We are better than that. We are proud British Columbians and Canadians. For the next 12 hours, we will be more Canadian than ever before. We will sing, we'll talk, we'll smile, and yes, we're going to cry. We will ask others to phone, text, and donate online. The words please, thank you, and sorry will be repeated many times over tonight because that is how Canadians roll when we want to get things done. To get the latest telethon totals, please go to www.hellorhighwater.ca website.
Stuart Patrick Jr. from New Toronto and Merritt, BC. I'm doing prayer, dance, and prayers for hell or high water, all my relations.